when Julen Lopetegui arrived in the summer, I think it's fair to say that he probably wasn't the number one choice amongst West Ham fans in general. And don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that he was way down the list, but I think there was a few other people, Amorim obviously being one, of managers that sort of fans wanted to see bring in a sort of higher name, higher caliber manager. So, Lopetegui was sort of seen, I think, by some as well as a bit of a cheaper option. He's out of work, etc., etc. But I've got to say, I think he's already winning fans over. I think he's already showcasing this personality and style that I think's already sort of endearing himself to West Ham fans. I think fans are starting to get a little bit excited about what we're in for actually under Lopetegui. I certainly am. I certainly am. I'm quietly optimistic. Let's say that. When you approach by other fans from other clubs and they talk about the upcoming season, what do you think? I always downplay it. I don't ever say, I think we're going to be challenging for this, that, and the other. I always just go, look, if we have a half-decent season, I'm always happy. If first season, I love Lopetegui. But I've got to admit, in the back of my mind, I'm quite optimistic. There's a part of me that feels that this has been a decent appointment by West Ham. I think we might have got our choice correct, because I like the way he's coming across. I really think he's saying all the right things, and I've just been really impressed with him. Everything about his style and about the way he goes about his business, and I think it's certainly starting to create a bit of a buzz and a bit of excitement for the season ahead. And I've got to say, the update from ExWHUEmployee that we've just basically put up on our website. Spoke to X today, so we've spoke to him about what's going on behind the scenes. We're hearing this anyway from certain players. Other players have said it. We've had it from Mohamed Kudus already. We've had it now from Lewis Orford, in that they're very excited by the playing style. They like that. It's almost like, not a dig at David Moyes, I don't think it's necessarily a personal attack on him, but I just think there's a lot of relief around certain players, I think, in the way that we're going to take things on going forward in terms of how we play our football and how we approach games. But I've got to say, the update from ExWHUEmployee is just fantastic. I'm so pleased, because it's almost like cemented that feeling now of like, there is a real excitement now about Lopetegui at this club. What I'm referring to is an article. If you go on the westhamway.com, you can see it. But I'll just read you out the sort of quote from X here. He said, the players are said to be buzzing working under Julen Lopetegui. The new head coach has certainly come across well in the press thus far, but we are now getting the general feeling that at the club that it's very positive. We understand he gets on very well with the players. He's building a real togetherness in the group, and his playing style is said to be one that they are all really responding to well. I've also been told the academy players are happy and feeling very much a part of things under the Spaniard. I mean, this is exactly, isn't it, what we want to be hearing? This is literally spot on. I mean, what more did we want? We've just had so much negativity around this club now for so long. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to place an attack on Moyes. I really don't think I'm being like that and being ungrateful or anything like that, because at the end of the day, we won a trophy, we've had some good years, and I'm no way dismissing that. But it was obvious that a change was needed. It was obvious that a breath of fresh air was needed at West Ham. And it feels like we've got that. To have players now that are really responding well, that are excited about this playing style that we're now going to see, it really does make you start to think that we could be in for something special here. Do you know what I mean? This could be a good period for the club. It could be a step forward that we wanted. I'm really delighted to hear that. I mean, it's just music to my ears. I mean, to hear that the academy players as well. We knew for a fact that academy players, Orford being one, that was frustrated, I think, under the previous regime, felt that they weren't really being listened to, really being respected. I think a lot of the time they were sort of being taken to these games. And don't get me wrong, it's experience, of course, going to the dressing room and et cetera, especially on away games, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, if you've got no opportunity of really getting on the pitch and not really being acknowledged by the manager, I can imagine it's very soul destroying and quite exhausting having to keep travelling up and back and knowing you're never going to get a kick of a ball. It must be annoying. And then you read comments like that regarding how things are actually going behind the scenes now with a new head coach. It's really good. I mean, I've seen some clips of Lopetegui anyway, how he talks to players. And this is even his previous club at Wolves. And I've been just so pleased to see it. It's just that kind of, it reminds me of that time with Mourinho at Chelsea when that sort of first stint when he had that real bond with his players. Remember with Lampard, etc. They just really bought into everything he was doing, and he was almost like one of them. And I just get that vibe from Lopetegui. He comes across like that. He comes across like someone that's quite involved and wants to put an arm around players and share their frustrations, share their stresses and anxieties, and also share their joys, etc. as well. I just really think that is what we've needed. Really, we really have. And look, as I said, I really don't want this to be some sort of like people say, "Oh, yeah, you're doing it underhanded. You're slagging off David Moyes." I'm not. David Moyes has got his own style of doing things, and fair play, because let's be honest, it had worked for us at times. It did, but I get the feeling now we're about to see a far more a group that's got a real togetherness about it. That's on the same page. Everyone's a bit excited by what they're doing. I mean, we'd known previously as well that a lot of the players were becoming a bit frustrated in the terms of when we were doing our preparations for games, it was always about how we were going to stop the opposition, how we were going to defend, how we were going to just try and remain in the game, when players are thinking, why aren't we thinking about how we're going to attack and make them worry about us? So to have this new style of football that we're now going to be adopting going forward, that players are now excited about, it's just brilliant. It's really brilliant. And it's building up some hope, isn't it, for the season ahead and this new era that we're about to embark on under Lopetegui. I mean, I'm not expecting miracles, you know what I mean? I'm not deluded. I'm not sort of sitting there thinking, wow, I'm expecting us to hit the ground running and smashing teams a bit tough. I appreciate it's going to take a bit of time. But no, it's to have comments like that are brilliant. I do know what I was actually, funny enough, I've got 2 videos lined up. There's one that I was waiting on this kind of news regarding this, and the other one was regarding Max Cornet. I'm going to save that one for tomorrow because that's actually a bit of a moan up, and I don't really want to bring the mood down because this really lifted my mood. Do you know what I mean? This really, I just read this, I thought, this is exactly what we're going to be hearing. I mean, it doesn't get much better than hearing that a new manager's coming in, and for a club that's been kind of frustrated by its style for quite some time, where it's just been so defensively minded, now going on a far more attacking and possession-based style of football that players are responding to well. And the fact is that the players really like him as well. It's just that's what we want to be hearing. It'd be nice to have a bit of togetherness at West Ham. It's felt like that's been missing for quite some time. It's been quite a divided fan base, quite a divided feeling around the club for quite a while. It'd be nice now to have a bit of togetherness. And I don't know, I get the feeling with Julen Lopetegui, we're getting that. We're getting a manager that is bringing not only the players together, but I think the fans will get behind it as well. So yeah, I'm really pleased. And as I say, the exciting bit as well out of that is the academy boys. I mean, the academy players are playing too and feeling very much a part of things. But and so they bloody should. They should feel a part of things. You know, I mean, they are the future. They are the players that we want to see blossom over the next couple of seasons into this side. You know what I mean? And the fact is that we've got players like Lewis Orford that's, he's come out and said on the official website that he is now aching to get playing now for this side. He feels like he's going to get his first opportunity, and he deserves it. And we've got to get a deal sorted out for him. I mean, that's the next thing. I mean, that is a frustrating thing. But I don't want this video to be negative. I'll come to that another day. We'll talk about Orford and his contract and a couple of academy situations as well. And I'll say, I'll save the Max Cornet stuff for tomorrow. But yeah, this is brilliant news. And so if you want to read the full article, it's on the westhamway.com. But yeah, well pleased with that. Lopetegui seems to be making a big impression already at West Ham.